16, turn me up.
And just like that, we're back. Views from Section 400. Matt, Brian, Jack, taking you along for the ride in this episode. Action-packed as always. It's what we do here at Views from Section 400. I cut the intros down. I don't do all the bullshit anymore for you guys. We jump right into it. If we had Michael of the week, midweek, we got winners and losers of the week this week. We do it every week, sponsored by our bracketology over on viewsfromsection400.com. So make sure you go check that out. March Madness a week away. Obviously, you guys are always eager to get into it. I know Brian always has some nuts winners and losers. He's got the nuts hat on. Brian, what do you got for the winners and losers of the week?
I don't know how nuts this winner is, but I need all of you viewers to just sit down for 3 minutes and let me talk to you. Stop watching the NBA. Stop watching Netflix for the 50th time. The Office can wait. Turn on the Big South. Turn on the ASUN. These conference tournaments are electric right now. These kids, in March Madness, there's going to be some good teams. But you know what? Those kids are going to the NBA or they're going to play overseas. These kids are going straight to being like car salesmen or insurance agents. Like, this is all they have. Every game this kid plays is the biggest game of his life. So last night, we had Stetson play Jacksonville. 10-seeded Jacksonville against 1-seeded Stetson. Stetson's leading it end-to-end. This kid on Stetson, senior, Stephen Swanson, hits like 5 threes to end the game, hits a game-winning 3 with 3 seconds left, sending Stetson to the ASUN title game. They've never been to the tournament. They've been D1 since 1971. They've never been there. There's like 5,000 fans in that stadium. They were going crazy. The bench was going crazy. The coaches were going crazy. The managers going crazy. They host the ASUN title game on Saturday. So like an hour after you guys are watching this, turn on ESPN2. It's at noon. Stetson has a chance to make it to the NCAA tournament for the first time in school history. And you know those kids are going to be absolutely insane. The emotions, the tension, everything I love about March. Just turn it on. Just put your TVs on ESPN2. And if you don't enjoy it, you can yell at me, but you're going to enjoy it. The Netflix can wait. I promise you. So that's my winner of the week. My loser of the week, it's going to be me. Because I think I got to run a 40-yard dash. And so the last couple of days at the gym, I've been working out in Crocs because my sneakers got ruined in NOLA.
I wonder why.
I'm probably going to have to run the 40 barefoot because I'm not going to do it in Crocs. So if the odds were already against me, they're even more against me now. So I'm not looking forward to that. So myself is the loser of the week.
That's nuts, dude.
I cannot wait until you run that 40, bro.
Yeah, so for a little context, what do we say? If one of the social media posts got 53 likes because the over-under was 5.3 seconds, if Brian could beat that on a 40. I've been a bit busy and didn't see where we were at in the like total. I think we were in the 20s last time I checked.
We're at 52 on TikTok, so I'm pretty sure that's going to hit. And we're at 30 on Instagram. So I feel like just those two together, I have to do it for the people.
I think it's pretty warranted to get out there and give the people what they want to see.
So look out for that on Sunday. I will find a field and I will run the 40-yard. I have to figure out how I'm going to measure the 40 yards, but because I don't know if there's a public football field that would be too fond of me running it in my bare feet. But
yeah, go to a local football field, dude. All you got to be there is for 5 minutes.
And the problem with DC is all these.
It's only going to take you 5 seconds to do, apparently.
Possibly under 5. I mean, Russ commented on the Instagram today. He said 4.6. So I think I have a new number to try to get.
I think he was being very generous.
I think so too.
He clearly didn't listen to our podcast when I told everybody that Dylan Johnson, Huskies running back, ran a 4.6. So I don't think Brian's gonna hit that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think if I run a 4.6, the DC defenders might be calling me for an open tryout.
It very well might be. I think you might have a starting job.
Possibly.
Speaking of Sunday, we have some big news coming from Views from Section 400. We're going to be doing our first interview of a professional athlete this Sunday night. Won't be released just yet. You know, you're going to have to sit on that for just a second. Professional basketball player, Division I, plays overseas currently. We're going to get a bunch of his story. It's going to be electric. So make sure you stay tuned for that next week. Another winner, the Denver Nuggets. I know we have that Thunder future, but the Denver Nuggets, I'm convinced they're going back to back. Cue the Drake song. They're going back to back. After seeing them beat the Celtics the other night, I know it was, in Denver. They won by 6 points. Jason Tatum only had 15. It wasn't like they just blew them out the water or anything. But top to bottom, this Nuggets team is ready to make another deep run. And I think that they're going to do it. I think they're the best team in the West. They just beat the best team in the East. And we all know that the Celtics are the best team in the East by far. So I think they match up well against the Celtics, and I think they're going back to back.
I had this conversation with a friend of the program, Aaron. If they can get home court advantage, like the only thing that could really stop them is their role players missing shots, and they're going to be open shots because Nikola Jokic gets triple teamed. But like as long as they're making 40% of their shots, they're going to go back to back. Like Jokic is just so dominant, it's insane.
They have good role players between Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun, KCP, Michael Porter. I mean, they have really good role players, and you're right. They need to show up for this team to win. It can't just be Jokic and Jamal Murray, even though Jokic is going to get another triple-double every game of the playoffs this season, mark my words. But you're right. They're going to have to do something, but they have a lot of guys who can do something, and they're deep. I just think that they're going to go back to back, man.
Yeah, he's juiced up. He had, I think, his 5th dunk of the season in that game. he was getting up there. It was a little bit of authority too, or I guess how much authority he can give the rim. But he was juiced.
It's really not that hard to go back to back in the NBA, though, right? I mean, we've seen a lot of these teams do it. I would lean the Nuggets.
Yeah, I guess
When's the last time we saw it go back to back?
It must have been the Warriors.
Probably the Warriors, or did the Cavs do it with LeBron?
No, they won once. It was Warriors, LeBron, Warriors, and the Raptors ended it. But yeah, it must have been Warriors and then the Heat before that, and then the Lakers before that.
Then the Lakers did it a bunch.
So
Bulls, obviously, that run in the 90s with the Bulls. Yeah. So, I mean, we've seen it over the last 3 or 4 decades.
There's a conversation. If they go back to back, does Jokic get in the same sentences, the LeBrons, the Currys, the Magics, the Kobes, the Jordans?
I don't think anybody wants to put him there, but maybe, man.
I mean, it's definitely inching closer. Is he there yet? I don't know.
I was expecting some more pushback from you because I know the whole Embiid Jokic beef.
I just don't care, man. Like the Sixers are so just out of my head. I'm so sick and tired. I mean, dude, I guess you do know dealing with the Mets, but like the Sixers are the Mets for how you view it. Like they're just year after year supposed to be good. The Sixers usually are good. They just fraud in the playoffs. The Mets, granted, they can't make it to the playoffs. And when they do, it's a fraud out in the first round. But, it's just high expectations and dog shit results for the last however many years, way too long. I mean, they haven't been to the finals since 2001 with AI.
And they got swept.
And they won game one with the step over.
Yeah,
with the step over. I stepped over Tyronn Lue, and then they got smoked the rest of the series. Which, can you blame him, man? It was AI and then a bunch of fucking janitors.
Eric Snow.
Like, give me a break. Aaron McKee. Like, these guys were just average role players that AI made look way better.
Yeah, bring back those jerseys, those Sixers jerseys.
Yeah, that logo is electric. How about the Kyle Korver? It's not baby blue, but that like darkish blue Sixers jersey with that logo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, with the gray and the not yet brown. I guess the basketball's brown.
Either way, Sixers maybe need a rebrand. Jack, what do you got for the loser, dude?
Loser of the week. Anybody listening that didn't tell my college basketball picks last Saturday. We went 4-0. Gave them out on our Saturday morning live stream that we're doing every Saturday morning throughout the college basketball season. It's been awesome. It's been fun. Matt, Myers, Brian, we're all chopping it up in there, giving out our favorite college basketball picks of the day, of the week. So we've had a lot of really good Saturday slates too. So anywhere from 12, 4, East Coast, right? 12, 4, 6, 8, wherever you are, 10 o'clock at night, some of these games start. We've got it dialed up for you. Some great picks. I hammered it home with some SEC picks. You know you got Matt coming at you with the mid-majors. We call him mid-major Matt for a reason. Look, tune into our live streams on Saturday mornings. It's the last time I'm going to say it. You don't want to miss out on these bets.
I missed out on that live stream this week. I was a little too banged up Saturday morning, but my bet of the day did hit, and I gave it to some of the guys down there. I got Matt's Cats on the road against Providence at plus money.
Yeah,
so.
They were plus money, and I think they smoked them, but then they couldn't follow it up with a win against Seton Hall. That leaves it to me for the winner and the loser. And winner of the week, a weird one or a different one. I'm going to take myself because I'm finally moving into an apartment actually in the soul of Center City, Philadelphia. But real winner, ditching the horrendous traffic-riddled, whatever you want to call, commute that I have to deal with and have been dealing with for the last however many months. That has been absolutely horrible. I'm getting – between going there and coming home, probably getting like close to 3 hours of my life back of just sitting in traffic and like really wanting to say mean things and flip people off and honk at people and just punch the window. I don't have to do any of that anymore. Have a nice, smooth 5-minute subway ride, maybe less. I'll take the winner of the week on that one. Loser of the week? Interesting one here. And Jack, I hate to go at the Jags, right? Hate to do it. I don't know if you guys saw the news.
I don't know where you're going.
But this guy getting convicted for stealing $22 million from the team and then coming out in the court hearing today saying that he was gambling with a company credit card when he played. Or when he was on the team. I mean, dude, I'm looking at a picture. This guy looks ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 31 years old, Amit Patel.
The finance department, some dude had access to a credit card he should not have had access to and just gambled it away.
Gambling on a company credit card. That's unreal stuff. To not just highlight the Jaguars and be a dickhead and come at your beloved franchise. We did also have Jackson Mahomes, brother of Patrick Mahomes, obviously, get sentenced to probation. So that's a pretty good loser of the week because I know a lot of people hate him. So sentenced to probation, says 6 months in a case alleging an assault on a woman. Now, I don't know if it was sexual assault, just says assault on a woman.
Yeah, it was at a bar.
Yeah.
But either way,
there was a video. Go look
loser of the week, man. What are you doing assaulting a woman? You're a bitch. You're a
Did
bitch.
that probation involve house arrest?
No. I don't know what it is for assault. I don't know what probation for assault.
So they dismissed 3 felony charges for aggravated sexual battery.
That Mahomes
and gave him a misdemeanor count of battery. Give him probation for, I guess, 6 months probation for. So I'd say he probably got let off a little easier if that was a regular civilian, not in the spotlight. Might be a little more of a harsher penalty, but yeah.
Not even during football season either. Like he could still be back being an idiot once the season kicks off.
Gave you 2 losers there. I just thought the gambling on a company credit card was unreal.
Yeah, it's clearly that dude had like a gambling addiction.
Like, dude, unreal. And they took out a $16,000 loan, a debt settlement loan to clear out his gambling debt or whatever it was. And then in court said that he was glad he got caught.
No wonder they had to cut those 2 guys. Running very low on funds.
Yeah, that's why they had to franchise tag Josh Allen and not just sign him to the long-term extension.
Don't have enough money.
Couldn't give him the $22 million guaranteed because it went to Patel's gambling addiction.
They're going to get a deal done soon. Don't you worry about that. Josh Allen is going to remain a Jaguar.
Yeah, after the insurance money from the 22, from the stolen money comes in.
Gambling on the company credit card, that line in itself is ridiculous.
Take some big balls.
What's more ridiculous, gambling on a company credit card or being Calvin Ridley and gambling on the game?
Gambling on a company credit card.
Yeah, I second that. I don't understand what sort of organizational processes you have where a dude gets away with gambling more than $1 million. Like let's not.
Right, it's not like you place it all at one time. Like, how is it just accruing money and money and money and money?
How does that go on for so long where you're in the tens of millions of dollars? How does that happen?
I don't know. That's why it's the loser of the week.
I get questioned by my company for taking a $65 Uber ride. Yep. Like, look, I just landed at the airport. I need a ride to my hotel. We're in Las Vegas. It's a Friday night. There's going to be a crazy surcharge. What do you want me to do? Sit there until the price goes down? That's not how it works.
No, absolutely not. But you're absolutely right. Most companies will nickel and dime you over a small thing like that. I get it. The NFL is bigger. Teams have bigger budgets. $22 million?
That's a lot of money.
I mean, that's a sizable free agent signing right
It's a franchise tag.
Yeah.
I think we probably have 3 or 4 guys on the roster that make that a year.
Yeah. Patel stole it and gambled on a company credit card. So unreal stuff. That's the winners and losers of the week. Jack, you look like you got some more get to go off of that, dude.
No, the more I think about it, I don't think we pay a single person that much a year.
I think Josh Allen's tag was 22.
Josh Allen's tag is 22. I don't think we pay another person $22 million a year.
Yeah, you haven't paid T-Law yet. Probably good you haven't paid him yet.
We haven't paid him yet. We might be paying Tyson Campbell a little bit, but he might still be on a rookie deal too.
Clearly paying Patel $22 million a year. He got franchise tagged.
He
didn't get away with it though. Winners and losers of the week, always presented by the Bracketology over on viewsfromsection400.com. And speaking of bracketology, it's a good time to jump into college basketball because it's heating up, as Brian touched on in the open. The mid-major, low mid-major conference tournaments are going on, and they're clearly out of control already, as there's been some nuts endings. And that's not even the finals.
No,
right? Like these are like the quarterfinals and semifinals that are just going nuts. So stay tuned this whole weekend for that to play out. And then we roll into obviously the bigger Power 5 conference tournaments. But yeah, I mean, college basketball, I did want to plug in. Our bracket is live. I'm still trying to figure out how we're going to work it to what kind of payment method we're going to do. I do want to say the winner will obviously be shouted out all over our socials and get a nice little shout out. I'm pretty confident I'm going to win it though, so no need to do that. Yeah, nice little shout out. And I'm thinking maybe we get a lucky fan on for a little interview segment. You can have your 5 minutes of fame to run your mouth and get your bragging rights in and tell us how you dominated the bracketology, the Views from Section 400 bracketology. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's dive into some college basketball. Brian, you already touched on it a little bit. What else do you have pertaining to the craziness that is March Madness?
Joe Lunardi. So this guy's been so wrong about the Pac-12 all year long. He had Washington State, who's good. Washington State's good. They're number 8 seed in our bracketology. He had them at 5. You know who they just lost to? They lost to Washington at home.
Who's bad?
Washington just fired their coach after getting the win. Washington 16-15. So yeah, you can go fuck yourself, Joe. He also has Colorado as a first team out, and they just beat Oregon on the road. So they're definitely in. FanDuel also has them at like minus 290 to make the tournament. So yeah, it's just don't listen to that guy, please. Please read our bracketology because
our bracketology
obviously are better than this guy.
Yeah.
Also,
not even saying that to promote ours though. Like I know Brian genuinely believes that, and I genuinely believe it.
It's literally just better.
Also random. I hate people who say genuinely before everything. So I'm so sorry. I just did that.
I mean, it's true. I don't know another adjective to put there, but like I'm not lying.
Either way, I like our bracketology over Joe Lunardi. And it's not just for promo reasons. It's just better.
It just means more. And speaking
Exactly.
of it just means more, Dalton Knecht and the Tennessee Volunteers won the SEC regular season. And he did the little Angel Reese ring me thing. People are kind of heated about that, saying he's
Yeah, he
celebrating a
just
little too
chinks.
early.
He just chinksed his whole tournament. They're getting upset first round.
Yeah, I'm a little, well, as long as they get a one, but I'm a little rattled about that celebration from Dalton.
Yeah, that's going to come back. It always does across all sports.
It really
Doing
does.
something. Look at Castellanos with the ring me. Fucking everyone thought he had the middle finger. That blew up in their face in the NLCS. Sorry to go off topic there, but
I mean, whenever you want to talk about
kind
the
of on
Phillies being
brand on
bad,
what it is.
yeah, I'll listen whenever you had a rant about the Phillies. And speaking of a game yesterday, you guys see the Pacific and Pepperdine score?
Yeah, I sent it in the group chat. Nobody responded.
Well, before we talk about the score, what was the spread going into the game, Brian?
23 and a half. And they
Oh, I
beat
thought it
them.
was 40. I thought it was 44 and a half.
That was the halftime line.
That was the halftime line? Okay.
Yeah, you probably saw it live. Yeah,
Yeah.
live halftime line. Jeez.
Pepperdine went into the or
44
Pepperdine
and a half.
went into the halftime locker room up 56-9. And the best part about it is we always talk about the coach getting fired bump and how the team comes out fired up. Pacific fired their head coach before that game and seemingly just gave up. Like they scored 9 points in a half of basketball, lost by 56. Fifth worst loss in college basketball tournament history in Division
I think the worst part about that is it's not that, Pepperdine was the 1 seed and Pacific was the 9. Like, they were both even. Like, it was
like
the
a
8-9
7-8,
game.
yeah, 8-9.
Yeah, it was like the 8-9 game.
Yeah, either way, the
Like, they
Gonzaga
lost by like 70. What was the final score?
It was 103-59, I believe. They lost by 59 points.
That's like playing a D3 school in one of the first games of the year.
Yep. It's really bad. And the last thing I have on college basketball. So apparently this came out like right before we recorded. MGM Resort in Las Vegas is working towards doing an NIL tournament. So their idea is invite 8 teams and pay all the teams $1 million to be split up amongst the players. And then the winning team gets an additional $1 million to be split up amongst the players. And I don't really know where NIL fits in that.
Is it like after the tournament or like teams that don't make March Madness?
It'll be a preseason type tournament. So like when the Maui Invitational and all that are going on.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that.
It's a good idea, but like I don't understand where the name, image, and likeness comes in there. Like that's really.
Maybe it's like these are supposed to be the best teams in college basketball because you said it's a preseason tournament.
Yeah.
So if maybe these are supposed to be the top dogs in college basketball. These are, the big time players, all of the teams who are interested in doing NIL deals with college hoopers. Maybe it's like a little showcase for them. But
yeah, I don't think
I'm kind of with you. That's a little weird how you're going to call it the NIL.
I mean,
tournament.
You're essentially paying high school kids, right? Because if you're gonna make a preseason tournament, you got to announce the spots the year before. And a lot of these kids that are in these elite programs are going to be first-year players. So you're giving high school kids NIL by announcing their team. And then you're also helping those teams recruit kids because they're going to get the $1 million in that tournament. So I'm all for everyone getting paid, but it just seems a little bit like these schools are going to start dishing out money so they can get recruits because they want to play in this tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more they're saying we can pay the players now, so they're just having an NIL tournament.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's as simple as that.
The logistics behind it are a little bit fishy. But anyway, the teams they're in contact with for next year, Alabama, Duke, FAU, Houston, Kansas, Oregon, San Diego State, Syracuse, UVA, and St. Joe's.
So it'll be a preseason tournament, like kind of like a Maui Invitational or the Bahamas Invitational kind of thing.
Yep.
With college teams.
Yep.
Count towards the regular season.
Yep.
Except the winner I mean, dude, I love the idea. The guys are going to be trying. They already do try at
Yeah.
these other It's not like it's the NBA, but I don't hate the idea. I mean, they're already paying the players anyway.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm saying the recruiting kind of implications there are a little
It
bit.
does.
Yeah,
It messes up the recruiting because people are going to be more inclined to go to the
Yeah,
schools that are competing in this tournament.
yeah, which may not make a big deal, but there's just kind of a blurred line there
The
where
way you fix that is announce the tournament teams very
Late.
close to when the tournament is.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but schools are gonna want to join because you announce it before that.
yeah, and tell them tough shit.
I also think there's some kind of regulation, but honestly, I don't know what kind of regulations there are with the NCAA right now, because
Yeah,
it's
neither do
all a
I.
shit show. But
It is.
yeah, and then I know I said that was the last thing, but the last thing I have on college basketball, speaking of shit shows, the A10 tournament is about to be a mess because Dayton has fallen off a cliff, and I think they're
Yeah,
about to
what
lose the
happened to
season.
them, man?
Yeah, so the Richmond Spiders might end up winning that.
Roll Spuds.
Um, but yeah, the A10. Dayton should still get an auto bid, but I think that tournament's on NBC or the future Mount Cock maybe, but yeah, look out for A10.
The future Mount Cock.
Yeah. Then before we move back to the professionals, to keep it college based, I just wanted to get your guys' thought on this, and we're going to jump over to college football. How do you feel about Archie Manning opting out of the EA Sports video game that's coming up? I mean, seems kind of weird, right? Like, why would he not want to be in that?
That's so stupid,
He doesn't.
dude. I mean,
He
look, I
opted out
think,
of being, they're coming out with the new
Yeah,
football game.
I saw it.
He
yeah,
he opted out. Why?
It,
it's so stupid, dude. You want to know why? It's because Quinn Ewers was the starting quarterback, and Quinn Ewers is probably gonna be like a 90 overall, and Archie Manning's the backup, so he's probably sitting there like an 80 or something like that. And the Mannings can't be reflected in that light. There's no way. A Manning
That's
has to be
so
a 90
dumb,
overall.
man.
yeah, he wants
If
to
any,
focus. He said he wants to focus on football and not virtual football.
so
I
what? They're gonna
really,
have a replicate of him and call him Archie Fanning? like, like what?
yeah, I mean, I really don't. I kind of see where he's coming from. Like you're telling me, if you're a college athlete and you're in a video game, you're not going to be playing at yourself. Like I would spend some time playing, winning some national championships, throwing for 10,000 yards a season. He just wants to focus
Yeah,
on some football.
it's so dumb.
I think that's a little dramatic, honestly. You
He,
want to focus on football, you just created an unnecessary headline for yourself by opting out of the video game.
yeah, he
Yep.
needed to announce it himself or like come out with like a video or a press conference. It's the fact like told somebody and then it just got released as a quote
It just
where it's
got like leaked.
yeah, it's like you need to get in front of that and have a prepared statement of why you're not.
It's a lose-lose situation. If you're sitting there and you want to opt out, there's no good way to spin that at
I mean,
all.
he could control the narrative and be like, "Yeah, I've played Madden the last 5 years and it's been shit, so I don't want to be a part of EA." Like,
Okay, that is like that's deep, and you're gonna appeal to the gaming community.
yeah, you're gonna appeal to some
You
people.
will, but dude, I mean, he's not going to go in that deep. Yeah, sure, he could probably save face with something like that, but any way you look at it, dude, you're a football player, a college football player, just like all of these other thousands of college football players. Be in the video game. It's a privilege. Just do it.
He's also like fourth in NIL money right now.
Yeah,
So
he's
he
getting
really
paid
doesn't need
like
it.
yeah.
It's not
Well,
about the money, dude. It's about like why are you making this scene and saying, "Oh no, I'm just trying to focus on football."
I don't know if
Like,
he's trying to make a scene. I think he just said he's opting out, and now people are making a scene.
it's kind of a scene. That's
I,
what people are gonna do.
yeah, no, it's you have to sit there. If you're Archie Manning, you're sitting there, and everybody else around you is opting into this NCAA football game because that's what you would do. For you to be the one dude who's like, "Nah, I'm not doing that," you're gonna draw attention to yourself. That's
Yeah,
all I'm saying.
that's fair. I don't
All
know.
right. I didn't want to go on a whole rant about. Thought that was a little weird.
Yeah,
Thought it was a little weird that he opted out. Can he opt back in it? Like, how does that work? Can he ever opt back in?
I'm sure he can.
Like, can he just call EA up and be like, "All right, yeah, you can like turn my name on," and
Yeah,
then
and
like,
they'll
and
send
then
out
he's,
Wait,
game. Yeah,
would
I'm
would you
sure they
call?
have
Quinn Ewers
profiles.
goes down. Archie Manning comes in, lights up Oklahoma for 4 TDs and 300 yards, and then the next week turns on the switch and he's in the game, likeness and everything.
Yeah. It will be that simple. I can guarantee you, EA, if they've already started making these player profiles, they already have Archie Manning in that game, and he's just sitting on like a little ghost mode right now until he gives them the okay, and then they'll just be like, "All right, update, send him in."
Yeah, they got him on a little flash drive.
No
All
doubt.
they got to do is plug it into the server room.
Yeah, either way, we'll jump over to some NBA now because Brian is our NBA insider, and I know he's got a lot of juice for us. I know we touched on the Thunder, or not the Thunder, the Nuggets a little bit as possibly having a legitimate shot. I mean, they do. They have a legitimate shot to repeat. The Timberwolves, very good, unproven. Thunder, very good, unproven.
So you mentioned the Timberwolves. Unfortunately, they'll be without Karl Anthony Towns for at least the remainder of the regular season. Tore his
That's not
meniscus.
good. Well, I
But
mean, they're fine getting to the playoffs.
yeah, they'll be fine getting in, and apparently he'll be
Do
back.
our Thunder then get it the 1 seed now?
I think so.
I think that opens up the door.
Yeah, definitely opens up the door for the big three and Giddy over there. But yeah, he'll be back for the playoffs, and then I guess that just makes Ben Simmons look like even more of a bitch because Ben Simmons is out for the season now with a
He's
back
done for
with
the
a
year.
back spasm. He's done for the year, and Karl Anthony Towns just tore his meniscus, and he's saying he'll be back for the playoffs. The only other thing I had for the NBA before I jump over to the WNBA on National Women's Day, um, so Luka Doncic set the record for 35-point triple doubles in a row. He had 4 of them. How many wins do you think the Mavericks got in those 4 games?
Oh, can you repeat the question?
Luka Doncic set the NBA record for 35-point triple doubles in a row. He's done it 4 games in a row. How many wins do you think they got in those games?
I mean, I know
One.
Jack just said 0.
No, one.
The fact
Change my answer to 1.
the fact you're asking the question, I'll go with 0.
They have 1.
Yeah,
So
one.
they were 0-3 and they just barely beat the Heat at home to get that. But yeah, I mean the Mavericks, Jason Kidd, just I don't know what they're doing with him. He has almost as many sexual assault allegations as he does, good seasons with the Mavs. But yeah, moving over to the WNBA on National Women's Day, giving them some love. So the Las Vegas Aces were the first ever WNBA team to sell out season tickets. So that old meme of would you rather have your city win a WNBA championship or get $5? Apparently in Vegas, they'd rather see their city win a WNBA championship.
What does that mean, though?
What this?
What does what
Like,
mean?
where are they playing the games? Are they at the Golden Knights Arena?
Yes. Yeah.
I would assume so.
And does sellout mean lower level only?
It's the stadium. The stadium sold out. I don't know. I don't know if they put all the seats that they have for the hockey in there, but whatever seats they offer, they're sold out.
Interesting. I have a lot of questions.
Also, the Liberty just had to put a hold on their like premium suites because they were selling too many. So people are into the WNBA. Maybe Steph versus Sabrina really helped out.
And the big thing, Caitlin Clark coming into the league next year.
Yeah,
Yep.
get her MVP odds while you can, because she still has some pretty good value. They're offering her to get drafted by the Pistons.
Wait,
MVP
what?
odds. You can go on Bovada and put $1 to win 6,000 on her to get drafted by the Detroit Pistons next year.
I had a very heated debate with the dudes I play hoops with all the time. I had a very heated debate with him about how Caitlin Clark would never make it in the NBA. I'm on the camp that she would not be able to play in the NBA. I mean, look, she's a great shooter, but she wouldn't be able to play defense on any of these guys, and she wouldn't be able to get that many shots off with the guys in the NBA in their length. And he's just out here just saying, dude, she could do it. She could do it. She could do it. So maybe I'll tell him about that Bovada bet that she could get drafted by the Pistons.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. The worst thing about it is the reason they're offering it because there's fucking morons out there that are betting it. So that's number one. Number two is you can say NBA, they don't play defense, this, that, and the third. This would be night and day difference of not playing defense and not being able. It would be a liability mismatch every time up the floor on defense for her. And that's no hate on her. That's no disrespect. She's an unbelievable player. And I do want to bet on her to win the WNBA MVP next year because she is that good. And I do think she has a shot to do it in her rookie year.
Plus 2,100.
Great odds. But absolute liability if she had to go up in the NBA on defense. I know people, they don't play defense because they don't. They don't play defense in the NBA. But an absolute liability mismatch, whatever you want to call it. Jack, sure, your friend's a great guy. Horrendous take. I think people get carried away because what she's doing is so dominant against other women that they get this wrong picture in their head of what she can do against men, and like it would be a massacre.
Oh yeah, we had the same conversation on a lesser scale when Brittany Griner was at Baylor. What's the UConn's women's coach? Gino something. I can't pronounce his last name.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, I can't say his last name either. They said Boogie Cousins versus Brittany Griner.
The old dude from Up.
Yeah. They were talking about Brittany Griner versus Boogie Cousins USA camp, and he's like, yeah, I'm taking out a mortgage and putting it all in Boogie Cousins.
Yeah. Nuggets beat the Celtics last night. I know I talked about that during my winner of the week. I really think that the Nuggets have a shot to win this whole thing going back to back. Celtics, Jaylen Brown had himself a game. He dropped over 40 in this one. But he needed to with Jason Tatum only scoring 15. So if they're going to pull out Al Horford off the bench for 18, 19 minutes of the game and he's going to score 2 points for them, I don't think they're going to have a very good time.
They call Al Horford the statless all-star.
It's insane that he ever got paid what he did.
Moving on. He's a big glue guy now, dude. Huge glue guy.
Great glue guy, but that's not going to win you championships.
And the last thing I want to say, a guy that doesn't get talked about too much, he's on the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's not, I know they're third in the East right now, which is impressive for them. But Darius Garland, that dude can freaking hoop. Yep. He can freaking hoop, dude. He's out there like he's just playing pickup, right? That's the kind of, he's like a street style hooper, but he just cashes everything, man. I really like his game.
Yeah, the Cavs are good.
You don't got to tell me, dude. I got him on my fantasy team.
Hell yeah.
I thought you were going to talk about Dean Wade. Guy dropped like 21 in the fourth quarter and that comeback against the Celtics the other night out of nowhere.
He stepped up. Yeah, it's kind of weird seeing a white dude with the last name Wade on the back, but yeah, he's stepped up. That's for dang sure.
Yeah, Matt's guy was in attendance too. That was like during his retirement tour. Kelsey brothers were sitting courtside, getting hyped to the Cavs making a 25-point comeback.
Yeah, I mean, they're from Ohio, so it makes sense.
Yep, Cincinnati.
Yeah, there you go. But the only thing I had was, since we talked about it, I guess back in February, the NBA already released that the All-Star game will be in Phoenix in 2027. Wait, we still got to get through 2025 and 2026. But I don't know why they came out with Phoenix in 2027. Amidst all the backlash of the NBA All-Star weekend just being a total joke and non-competitive, instead of making any changes or trying to make it more incentivized for the players doing better, they just came out and said, all right, yeah, in 2027, we'll go to Phoenix. So thought it was interesting that instead of trying to address and making it better, they just released where it'll be played in 2027. So thought that was interesting that they came out and said that. But speaking of Phoenix, Devin Booker will be featured in the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Well, not the new. I guess it came out a few months ago or back in November.
Maybe the new season. No, they did.
But yeah, new season or whatever it is. Devin Booker will be in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I know KD was in the last one, so Booker gets.
They give him like characters, like their face.
Yeah,
he's like they call him an operator.
Yeah, he's an operator. They'll also probably have maybe some kind of like voiceover or something like that.
So you're telling me that somebody's out here paying like whatever amount of money it is to get a skin of 7 foot tall Kevin Durant just so they can be 2 times bigger than every other soldier and get their shit shot up?
Yep.
Well, I think all the size is relative. Like they don't make them way bigger than everybody else. But yeah, dude, they had a Neymar operator before. They've had a Messi operator. Like I said, KD was in it one time. There's been a couple other, famous people, so to say, in it.
Just say you talked about him possibly having like a voice acting role in that.
He
Hopefully.
will have some kind of like, if he throws a grenade or if he kills somebody or whatever the case may be.
Hopefully it's a little bit better than what Dion Waiters did in his 2K. You guys remember that?
No, what did he fucking do?
He like couldn't speak English. He was nervous and it was a scene. I'll put the video on the edit beneath me, but it's so funny.
Thought
About what?
that a young buck like you could actually do the right thing and avoid getting his sorry
I had a
butt kicked
teammate
out the
hold me
game.
back.
All right, so kind of jumping over, transitioning from the NBA over to the NFL. Obviously, we're approaching the start of the league new year. Drafts right around the corner. It's the off season, but you can always come up with some headlines. As you saw in my loser of the week, ex-Jaguar employees gambling on company credit cards. Wild. I think we saw the Ravens got their guy locked up to a contract. What's his name?
Yeah.
Justin. Somebody else say the last name because I'm not doing
I'm not
it.
going to try it. I'm not even going to try it.
You say it, Brian.
I don't know. I didn't even see this news.
It was one of their defensive players. I'm pretty sure he's a linebacker or a D line.
4-year, $98 million. I'll take a stab at it. Justin Madubuke. Madubuke. I was gonna say there's no way I said it right. Either way, 4 years, $98 million. So he just got a nice little payday. Probably a lot of guaranteed money involved right there. But I mean, he's a stud. So I'm familiar with his game, unfamiliar with how to pronounce it or how to pronounce.
Familiar with the game, unfamiliar with the name.
There you go. You should be a ghostwriter for somebody, Brian.
I thought you were gonna have that teed up, dude.
That's where I thought you were going.
Nah, I didn't. Dude, I got brain fog right now, man. You think I can it's 10 o'clock.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I'm in my fucking
it's a late one
still.
today. The Giants met with Russell Wilson, so I don't know what.
I did see that. I did see that.
That really ruined my day.
Hey, man.
Look, you guys need to draft someone. If you don't, I don't know why that would ruin your day.
They're going the wrong direction. I'd rather run it back with Daniel Jones being young than Russell Wilson at 33, 34?
Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl at Jet Life.
Yeah, he got carried by the fucking defense. The Giants don't have the Legion of Boom.
It was 43-8. They put a 43.
Yeah,
but they put a 43.
The first time they scored was the Percy Harvin kickoff return.
I think that's wild.
Pick six too, and a safety.
I think that's a wild take. I think it's wild that you would rather have Daniel Jones.
I don't think that's wild at all.
All right, let us know in the comments. Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones. If you got your franchise right now, who do you want at quarterback?
Well, here's the deal. How much do you have to pay Russell Wilson?
It doesn't matter. I don't want Russell Wilson around.
If you get him on a cheap deal, it's Russell Wilson over Jones all day. If you got to pay him, I would just keep rolling. Yeah, but Giants, what are you going to do?
Their roster isn't good enough to put Russell Wilson there and be good. So what are you doing? They have
no weapon for him to throw the football to, and they're losing Saquon.
So either run it back with Daniel Jones and see if he can somehow become amazing, or draft a quarterback and see what you have. Don't just put Russell Wilson out there. It doesn't make any sense.
And
I'm with you. I hear you, Brian. I'm with you.
And the Eagles and Saquon have mutual interest.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I just want to see that go down, just so I can put every quote Every
No.
Saquon quote in a press conference when he signs for the Eagles on my Instagram story of him just throwing shade at the Giants organization.
You already got Wheeler. You don't need another one.
That would be so funny, man. It'd be so funny if he came to the Eagles. You fucking delusional Giants
I'd hate
fans would
it.
be rattled.
I'd take
Rattled.
That's the Pennsylvania kid right there.
if Saquon.
Oh my god, dude! Giants fans would
New
be
Jersey.
so fucking shook.
If Saquon signs with the Eagles, I will take a Sunday off from watching football.
You
That's
would
how
be
confident
shook,
I am.
along with the rest of the Giant fans.
Brian's gonna boycott opening day.
I will take. You know what? I will not watch Sunday on week 1 if Saquon signs with the Eagles. I'm willing to put that on the table.
I cannot wait till we come back to this clip.
One other signing I had, Johnny Smith signed with the Dolphins, so he's going to look extremely fast in those jerseys down in Miami. It just seems like he's going to get
I was actually a little bit surprised by that. I shouldn't say surprised, but what I will say is I really wanted Miami to draft Brock Bowers. I just thought that with them drafting Brock Bowers would turn their offense into just the most weapons you could possibly want or have. I mean, between Tyreek, Waddle, the running backs they have back there who are stupid fast. And then you add Brock Bowers to the mix, a little bit of an upgrade compared to Mike Gesicki. Smith, who's not a bad player at all. Clearly Arthur Smith thinks that he's better than Kyle Pitts and Drake London and Bijan Robinson. So he must be pretty good.
Go from like that 88 speed to the 94 speed in those jerseys. I'm excited to see him. I might draft him in fantasy just because of him down in Miami. Like, I really do think he's going to be fast in those. And then the last thing I have on the NFL. So the Buffalo Bills are building a 16-foot statue of a buffalo outside of their new stadium. And unfortunately, I really thought they'd go for the record of the biggest buffalo statue, or just that would be the biggest buffalo statue. But apparently there's a 23-foot buffalo statue, a 26-foot buffalo statue in Jamestown, North Dakota. So good for North Dakota. They have something. Proud of them.
Yeah, you know what? If there's going to be a place in this world that has
I don't care.
a bigger buffalo statue than Buffalo, I guess it's going to be North Dakota. So
yeah, well, good for them. And then very, very last thing, Michael Thomas is beefing with the beat reporter. But what else is new?
Are we surprised?
We don't have to spend much time on that. He called the guy's Jeff Duncan. He called him a clown. Said he's a liar. And we may be done with Michael Thomas in the NFL. He just got cut. So.
Yeah, and after the whole Russell Wilson getting released on the Broncos, they also released Justin Simmons. I advocated for Howie Roseman to go after Pryor on the Bills, who just got released. Howie, they're throwing safeties at you, man. They're throwing them at you. You were like a kid in a candy shop. Take your pick. But Justin Simmons, elite playmaker who just is now just out there. Like I said, they're throwing safeties at you, man. Go do something. Do something with it.
I think that whatever team gets him has him for another couple good years, really, really good years. I don't want to say that lightly. I mean, he's an 8-year vet at this point, played all his whole career with the Broncos. I love everything about Justin Simmons. He hits hard. He can pick the ball off. He makes, interceptions, reads the quarterback well. Will absolutely get you the ball, fumbles, interceptions up. Can't talk more highly about on safety like Justin Simmons. Whoever gets him is going to be happy as hell.
Howie Roseman, come on, man. Do your thing. Do your thing, bro.
Trent. Please, Trent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams interested, dude. Like you said, Brian, all pro. Obviously, the Broncos are clearing out space because they have the $85 million cap hit or dead cap hit. So, going to be an interesting draft from them because they're going to have to get a lot of production from the draft now.
Yep.
Yeah. A lot of guys on rookie deals. Yep.
Where they'll go where they'll get that production from, I don't know. But they're like, dude, we might see a lot of rookies starting for the Broncos this upcoming year just because they won't have money to throw out free agents.
Yeah, they're going to be – that'll be an interesting team.
That'll be an
Ever
interesting
sports in
offseason.
general are, well, I guess no, never mind.
The
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Yeah, but the Rockies and the Broncos.
That
It all evens out. It all evens out.
Avalanche pretty good too.
That's true. All right. Well, they could have their winter sports, and in the summer and the fall, they're fucked.
So that's kind of the NFL. See some big players hitting free agency and the draft right around the corner. So it'll get interesting real quick. But yeah, last thing kind of to cover on the show here, the MLB. The season is quickly approaching, right? We're in March. We are in opening day month. Opening day, the fake opening day, as I like to call it, in the Korea series is, I guess, 2 weeks away.
Yep. Start of March Madness.
2.5-ish weeks away, 2 weeks away. And then obviously end of the month is when we get opening day. But Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery, the two big pitchers still on the board. Scott Boras probably has a lot to say in that, which is kind of annoying. Would love to just see these bigger name free agents get on a team, get ready, and be prepared on their new team for the full season. But that's all I really got for the MLB. I mean, I just want to see these big free agents fall.
Yeah, no, I mean, you figured the Dodgers, with all their money, would want to pick up one more, but apparently they're kind of in shambles because their starting shortstop just got moved to second base, and they are going to play Mookie Betts at shortstop this season. So I talked about Yoshibo Yamamoto giving up a bunch of runs in his spring start. Turns out that was because all the hits he gave up were ground balls to the left side of the infield, and they have Max Muncy, a true first baseman, playing third, and then Gavin Lux at short, and it was a disaster. A complete and utter disaster. So you can't really move Muncy anywhere. Lux is moving to the other side of the infield. Now you're moving Mookie Betts, who's an athlete, but a center fielder, to be your everyday shortstop. So we'll see how that goes.
That's nuts. I also thought it was nuts that the Red Sox signed Brian Bello to that
Big extension.
Long extension. Was he? I mean, he like had points where he looked okay or good, but I mean, that's a lot of money. That's like a Phillies move when they extended Scott Kingery for no reason. For no reason.
That's probably Soto's remorse right there. Can't let him walk out the building.
Yeah, Bello had a good end of the year.
Yeah, okay. And then last thing for me, Joey Votto to the Blue Jays on a minor league deal. That was his hometown team, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he's from Toronto, but he's from Canada.
Yeah, so the only baseball team in Canada is the Blue Jays.
Yeah, so I guess it's hometown.
Toronto Blue Jays account for all of Canada.
Well, you could be from like Vancouver and root for the Mariners, though.
Yeah.
No, man, it's Blue Jays. I'm telling you, no, like dead ass. Like I've talked to people from Canada. I got sources close to this.
You tell me if you're in Vancouver and you live an hour away from Safeco, you're gonna root for the Blue Jays?
Yes, because they're Canada based.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's the country.
Look, dude, I mean, like when we beat the Russians, I mean, did we care what state these guys were from? No, we didn't.
Well,
they were American.
That's the Olympics. It's completely different.
Yeah.
Either way, it's Canada.
Not trying to kill my vibe.
It's still
Yeah, I get what you're
Canada
saying.
versus USA.
It's his hometown team. His hometown, home country. It
doesn't need to say hometown, but yeah, he's from Canada. Yeah. The Blue Jays are the only Canadian baseball team. All of Canada rides for the Blue Jays. I got sources close to that question who've given me the right answer. They're from Canada. I know I'm right in saying that. All you Canadians can either back me up or call me I'm full of shit, but I know I'm fucking right.
That's a minor league contract to play baseball?
It's a minor league deal, so I don't know what will turn into that. But he could have just retired a Red instead. He's still going.
Yeah.
Minor league deal with the Blue Jays. Can't go out with honor and pride. Now he might go bat 198 for the Blue Jays for a month and a half before they cut him.
Yeah, he's a big vibes guy. He probably just misses being around the locker room. He doesn't
care
about his stats.
Could be. That's all I got. Unless you guys got any other LB stuff, I think it's good to wrap it up.
No, that's all for me.
Another action-packed episode, like always. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned. Action-packed episode or weekend for Brian. We got a 40-yard dash on Sunday.
On Sunday.
So stay tuned for that. Get involved in the bracketology, our bracket pool. We got a huge bracket. Winner will get shouted out on the socials, and we'll give you your 5 minutes of fame on the next pod or whenever the brackets are done. Anyway, that's all I got for the show. Views from Section 400. I'm Matt. Jack and Brian always along for the ride. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Thanks, KD. Thanks, Dylan, and all the seniors. War damn.
I like that one. More damn. But Brian doesn't believe in miracles. That needs to change.
Fuck off.